I should know because the person who raised the issue of let us have the pen, who made that motion. I got fired after whom I was named, Anthony. I should know that story personally. Overall, the Nigerian independence is not the South American battle, it's not even Mozambique. Yes, of course, some people have the foresight, but it wasn't built in blood and tears. Not because I love blood and sleep, but the absence of blood and tears is that you haven't got an ethos. There is nothing that you see as a sacrifice. What June 12 has done for us, luckily or unluckily, is that it has provided that moment of sacrifice for us. It is that moment in which you say, this democracy that we have is something that people have lost life for. So we should not toy with it. The whole idea of founding fathers, founding moment, that other countries will look up to have, is because they recognize that what they have is something that those before them toiled for. It is something that the founding father took risk to obtain. I argue, therefore, that this June 12 is the stone upon which our republic is built, at least the republic we have on. And as a national symbol, it also reminds us that whilst what is good might appear obvious to many, logical to some, inevitable to most, if you do nothing about it, there are a few who would toy with what is right. There are a few who would try to manipulate what we agree on. There are few who, for self-consideration, will betray the common good. What do? Do we kill them? Even though that sounds like my name, no. We shall not kill. What we need to do is to be vigilant. Vigilance is the price for freedom, for democracy. We need to know at all points, that some people manipulate. We need to know at all points, at every given time, we need to watch out for people who will corrupt the system, for people who will bend it for their own interest. And one thing, actually two things, I repeat, that June 12 shows us, is that it is possible to stand up to bullies and manipulators, because some people did it. It is also possible to prevail. It is not true that evil always triumphs. It is true that the truth can triumph. Justice can triumph. The fate of good things tends to be slow. It is not so sweeping and great. It's real sacrifice, even when we read about romantic heroes, whether with cape or without cape. The process itself is painful and slow. But the success of June 12, I dare say, with all the blood and tears in which it's made, shows us that if we focus, if we're willing to sacrifice, good can triumph. We can correct evil. We just need to be mindful, given that I do not promise miracle. Sort of in a very secular way, we just need to be mindful that it requires sacrifice. It requires diligence, it requires focus and endurance. And that, for me, is the context of June 12. And because I believe that it is the biggest moment of our republic, it is my view that that essence of freedom, unity, democracy that June 12 represents should be the cornerstone, should be the foundation of everything we do. I read with delight the speech of the President of the Republic today, in which he recognizes June 12 to be that. And I think it's worth noting, when you, and in a situation like this, I've learned to count my blessings, little things matter. It is worth noting that this administration actually recognized June 12. It is worth noting, because others had the opportunity, either maybe they were busy, or I don't know what happened. this administration did. It is also important to remember that the speech of the president today, I mean, it's not an Obama kind of speech, or if you read it, at least you will see as a way. In the 10th, in the Church of Moscow, June 12 already, my charge to us as we reflect today and then moving on is to consider this moment as a defining moment for us. As a moment that if we use it as a guide for our action in managing the common world, in judging actions of what happens around us, I think it will go a long way. So on that note, I say thank you very much, everybody, and welcome to today.
Thank you. A round of applause for Professor Anthony Keeler. It was a very profound welcome address. Indeed, very profound and can guide this process for the proceedings of today. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I have the honor to also quickly recognize the presence of Alhaji MKO Abiola, who I hear is in the hall. That's the son of MKO Abiola. Can you please stand up for recognition? Mr. MKO Abiola, please. You come to the front here, please. Can you please step here? Mr. MKO Abiola, please. It's an Alhaji. He will even become an imam very soon, but I want him here. Yes. You want, okay, please. You can yes. Don't hide. I don't hide the place for you. We are dragging you to politics by force. I also have in the house Dr. Aisha Sabiu Memu from Abuja, NC Front.
Good afternoon, everybody. Right now, in my opposite me is Abiola's son, Mr. Lekon Abiola. That's his name. So he's just walking out to sit down now. Opposite me, and the kids and daughter of Abiola opposite me right now.
The Lagos State Chairman of the Third Force Movement. We also have Honorable Dari Falade. Honorable Dari Falade, please stand up for recognition. You are welcome. He's a veteran, he's a politician, not an activist. We also have from all the way from Oyo State, Honorable Olushola Ayodele of the Third Force. You are welcome. I have here Dr. Tulia, who is a cleric and an intellectual, Director General, one of the most important platforms for Christians. Dr. Adipo, stand up again, let them see you. You are welcome, Dr. Tuji Adebodi. Then I also have beside him Lady Olufunke Awolowo. That's the grandchild of Chief Obafemi Awolowo. Stand up, yes. She's been doing great work. Funke Awolowo.
That's the grandchild of Awolowo, that's his name. That's the grandson of Awolowo.
And we have Abiola. We should have five families. I know Alhaji Agami.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Right TV Africa. Right now, we are at Abiola resident in the Abiola resident in the Nigeria now. Right now, the Abiola GCRF live on 20 years in the founded remembrances. So today makes 20 years remembrance of Abiola, Chief MKO Abiola.
I think I will go the way of the Apaka to speak to the team of this event. To speak to the powerful man, Chief Mike Osekome SA.
Great Nigerian people. For the greatest Nigerian people.
I'm not hearing us.
Greatest Bubu. Greatest Baba. Greatest Bo. Ba. Ba. When Bashirun Alhaji Chief Moshood Kashimawo Olawale Abiola used June 12 as a watershed, paying with his blood in what I have termed redemptive messianism or messianic redemption. Not many Nigerians could have made that sacrifice. His soul perpetually rests in Ajana Fidelsi. He taught us democracy. He taught us that democracy, which by the textbook definition given to us by Abraham Lincoln on the 19th of November, 1893, during his Gettysburg Declaration, that democracy is government of the people, for the people and by the people. Not many people knew that Abiola will live forever. On June 12, 1993, Nigerians from all walks of life came together to seek for the first time nationhood. Watch my words, nationhood. Because we are still a contraption. That I was 1948 piece of geographical expression. That Ahmadu Bello's 1952 historical mistake. We are still yearning for nationhood. That nationhood that we yearn for since January 8, 1897, when one young lady, 1914, when the Southern Protectorate, the Northern Protectorates and the Lagos Colony were coupled together to found that piece of geographical expression called Nigeria. Chief MKO Abiola defeated all that. In that historic movement of farewell to poverty. Before his foray into politics, when you were with me 2 days ago in my office, did you tell me today we were coming here today? I'm reporting you to them all. You came to discuss everything. You didn't tell me we will be here today. You know, for Professor Kila, I wouldn't know. Before his foray into politics, Chief MKO Abiola had already lived in the hearts of Nigerians. From the north to the west, from the east to the south. You know how he put it? He said you use your wealth to manure the people, like you use fertilizer to fertilize plants. So he became a household name across the length and breadth of Nigeria. All the nooks and crannies. Abiola was the world. So he won an election square, fair, the most credible, still the fairest, still the most transparent election ever held in the history of Nigeria. But what happened? It was annulled. The most satanic, most mindless, most invidious, most insidious, most dubious, most unpatriotic manner. And the man himself was killed in Asovila under circumstances that were as mysterious in 1998 as they are today. So he paid the supreme price for Nigerians to have nationhood. In winning the election, he beat his opponent, Alhaji Bashir Tufa, may so rest in peace, in all nooks and crannies of Nigeria, including his Al-Basha Jadi area of Kano. He beat him there. Abiola won in all military barracks, in all police stations, amongst the youth, amongst the women, amongst the elderly people, amongst professionals, amongst farmers, amongst artisans, amongst the hoi polloi, the transfanous wretched of the earth. He won. But then the military had their own agenda. They decided to annul the will of the people. Not for MKO Abiola. He would not let go. Already a comfortable man, very wealthy, with his private jet, Abiola would be waited upon when he's going to fly, if he's coming late, if he was coming late. He could have just said, to her, with this thing, let me face my life. Abiola said, I will not remove that mandate. It is a mandate of all Nigerians. So he refused to let go. He said, he gave the principle of law. He didn't know it was a principle of law that he was giving. He said, you can't give out what you don't have. In law, we say, nemo dat for non-habet. Abiola said the mandate was not his. It was the mandate of Nigerians. And that he was not in a position to relinquish it. That was the man for you. A man of strong principles. A man of strong character. A man of integrity. A man of honor and dignity. That was why he came back after doing international consultation and declared himself president of Nigeria during the famous Equatorial Declaration of 1994. We were out there. We were there. Some paid the supreme price. People like Baghdad Kato, Kudirat Abiola. Some went abroad. Some ran abroad. Some escaped abroad. But some of us stood back. We sat back. We said we will not go anywhere. Shehu Sani was one of them, the senator. He was jailed with Alhaji Yaradua. Yaradua, who was paid the supreme price. He was killed. Kokori, myself, Bekora, Sokuti, Gani, and all of them, we were on the streets together every day. I helped to found the first human rights movement in Nigeria at the age of 30, on October 15, 1987. The Civil Liberties Organization, the CLO. By 1992, I founded the Universal Defenders of Democracy, with which I fought the case of the Kuje 5 and General Zamani Lekot that I got released through Justice Onanaja, then of the High Court of Lagos State. We fought. We were on the streets, helicopters will over us, spraying us with tear gas. That was how we learned to use kerosene and anti-tumor. On one of the occasions, our veteran in the struggle, may so perpetually rest, the irrepressible, Gadfly Chiganifari, actually collapsed. We had to carry him on our shoulders to the nearest hospital available. So it was a struggle. Abiola defined the struggle. And he paid the supreme price. For that, he will never, ever, ever be forgotten in the history of Nigeria. At the 2005 National Political Conference, I fought to make June 12th Democracy Day. I failed. At the 2009 Vision 2020 Conference, I fought to make June 12th Democracy Day. It was rejected. At the 2014 National Conference, where I was named the Caesarea of the 2014 National Conference, I moved a motion that June 12th, not May 29, was the proper Democracy Day. And the whole conference plenary carried that motion. But then, no government till we do it. So when people said in August 2018 that Buhari was playing politics by naming June 12th Democracy Day, and even Chief MKO Abiola and Chief Fahimi, the second highest honor in the land, GCON, Grand Commander, the Order of the Niger. I said, for whatever reason he did it, to me, I'm a hard critic of Buhari and his government. Everybody knows that. I said, for whatever reason Buhari could do it, that has put him in history. I do not care. I'm not interested. But the important thing is that he did the right thing. You can never do the right thing at the wrong time. No, you can never do the wrong thing at the right time. So he left no stone unturned and no turn unstoned to give us Abiola as luminous as ever. For that, I praise President Buhari for that singular act. Even if I disagree with 99.9% of his acts, the important is that he did the right thing, making Democracy Day, June 12th Democracy Day. As I sit down, let me paraphrase some of Abiola's important sayings. A great man, a man of proverbs, a man of parables, a man of wisecracks, who believed in expressing himself more in parables, like our Lord Jesus Christ, than in normal semantics. When Chief MKO Abiola returned from abroad, just shortly his GRA residence in Benin, Chivaleni asked him, but Bashirun, why did you leave the country when the June 12th crisis was on? Here is answer. You see, Tony, you do not understand. A bird does not tell another bird that a stone is coming. It simply flies away. As a matter of fact, I was in the air without my passport before I realized that I had no passport on me, and you are asking me why I ran away. You see, only a madman stands in front of a moving train. He will be crushed. When the former ambassador, Walter Carrington, came to visit him here, he said, Walter, you are welcome to the right place. You see, when I saw you with that short man called General Sani Abacha, you bent, you had to bend to his low height. But now you come to me, the president of Nigeria, you assume your Then Walter Carrington with whom we were on the streets together. God bless his soul. And may God take care of RSA, the Delta wife. Thank you very much. When Water Carrington asked him, "But Chief, but Babangida, who annulled the election, was your friend?" He said, "Listen to me, Walter. With a friend like Babangida, no one is an enemy." So the man believed in one Nigeria. He believed in democracy. Perhaps one of the greatest democrats we ever had, who has been inducted into the pantheon of democratic heroes, alongside people like Washington, Abraham Lincoln, John Jay, Madison, Thomas Jefferson. People, great Democrats like Awo and Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe. Democrats who fought for their people. The only difference between him and them is that he fought more than them because he paid the supreme price. May God bless you. May God renew our system of governance and throw up people who can tell us how to say farewell to poverty. Know the emergency politicians we are having nowadays who play politics of Amala. Come and chop politics. Food done ready. People who will take a loan to campaign and contest for election so as to go and steal our national wealth. State captors, emergency contractors, irregularities, whippersnappers, 35%ers. It's now 35. During the time of Major Uzogu Chukuma, on the 15th of January 1966, coup, he called them 10%ers. Today is 35%. Go and check any contract that is awarded. 35% is already out. No nation can grow like that. It's not possible. When you use 18 to development, you can't grow. So Nigeria must get it right. In remembrance of Chief MKO Abiola. We must go back to that January 15, when we practiced true fiscal federalism. True fiscal federalism. Go and check it out. I think section 142 of the 1963 Republican Constitution. Go and check it out. Nigeria practiced true federalism. The regions were virtually autonomous, like the American state before November 1867, when they decided to come to